Hey guys, it's Tim Lovett, CEO and co-owner of Waterloo Turf. Today we're in the Houston area. Our franchise owner Rick has been running his location for about 90 days now, and we're gonna go catch up with him and see how he's doing. All right, so I'm here with Rick Breeding, owner of Waterloo Turf Houston. Rick has now been running and has had an open business for about 90 days or so. How's it been for you? Tell us about it.
It's been fantastic. Hit the ground running. There's a great market here for turf. It's been full throttle. Great leads coming in, building partnerships, and then getting out there and doing some great work. Lots of putting greens. It's been fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
And so you had a background in home services besides your military career. What do you feel like you were able to bring with you from your background, and what do you feel like you've learned in the past 90 days?
Well, with my military background was construction, anything from inside of a house, a lot of base development building, and then larger scale stuff. And then when I retired, I got into general contracting work with home renovations and some ADU builds. What's really helped me with that is I understand the market. What's helped me between that and with the training that we get with Waterloo Turf is that turf-specific knowledge with my very specific project management capabilities with construction has really helped me be able to, drive further, faster.
Yep. And so we're here at a job site in Houston today. Tell us a little bit about the project.
Yeah, so what we're doing here is we're taking out all the grass. We're going to put in turf. We're going to have Black Star border on both sides of the home, wrapped around the fence. And what we're trying to do is bring in a very low maintenance backyard for the client. He just got a new jacuzzi pool. He actually can swim in that because it has the jets, so it's really bringing a space to them that they can enjoy without having to worry about flooding or maintenance. And there's the function of helping remove pesky pests living in the area by replacing natural grass with artificial turf.
Yeah, I love it. They're gonna have a sick backyard. All right, so we just had the base delivered here in Houston for the turf install we're about to do. Rick, you wanna tell us about the base,
Yep.
what type this is, and how it works?
So we got two bases here. Right over here is a 3/8 limestone. It has great compactability, but it also has good drainage. There's not a lot of fines in this one. So what we want is when we install base in backyards, we want to improve the drainage of the area. Then we top it with a base like this DG, which has fines in there, which is highly compactable. So it gives us a nice solid sturdy surface for the top that allows the turf to sit on top of and prolong the life of the turf.
So I know a lot of other artificial turf companies in the Houston area don't use this type of base for their jobs. I know that you like to use it because it is a higher quality. What makes it higher quality, and why did you choose this versus what some of the other competitors use?
Well, the two things that are the most important with artificial turf installations and any kind of landscaping in the backyard where you're putting in sod or anything, you want permeability with your base and you want compaction. And a lot of times they don't go well together in one product, so you need two. You have other products out there that are very good at compactability all the way down, but then you lose some permeability. We're creating a drain system. Not only do we have this base that has that ability to drain and keep the compaction at the top, but we include French drain systems with pop-ups and corrugated pipe that will take that water from the top of the surface and bring it down to the subsurface where it drains and then lead that rainwater or flooding drain to the location it needs to be.
Yeah, I think one of the big things, a lot of times artificial turf, we talked about it as far as water conservation, but one of the things that most people don't realize is that turf actually lets your yard drain better.
Yes.
And so when you put turf in your backyard, especially when you're going with Waterloo Turf or a high quality turf installation company, you're essentially putting in a giant French drain in somebody's backyard, and it just drains so much better. All right, so I'm here with Jeromie, who is a turf coach for Waterloo Turf. And so with our franchise owners, when they come on, we match them with a turf coach on our team, really as their one-to-one support person as they work with us as a franchise owner and ultimately build their business. One thing I like to tell everybody that's a little bit different than what other franchise systems do is we actually recruit people from the turf world. And so it's not just a generalist franchise person or a generalist kind of admin support person you're talking to, somebody who actually has turf experience, who has installed it themselves. And really we're going after some of the top people in the industry. So typically we're recruiting and reaching out to maybe somebody who already runs their own business that's looking for the next thing, or they're the number 2 guy at their company and looking for a spot where they can come coach people to build their business. So Jeromie, with that, would love to just hear a little bit about your background and what you were doing before Waterloo Turf.
Sure. So I've been in and around the artificial turf industry for 16 years before coming to Waterloo. Started with selling artificial turf in Southern California before I built my own business. That became pretty successful. We were in business for 13 years and was really looking for an exciting new chapter. So that's where we get to help other people now build their business and kind of repeat what I did. So it's really exciting.
And then what's your day-to-day look like? What's your role as a turf coach at Waterloo Turf?
Day-to-day is I've got weekly meetings scheduled with each of the franchisees that I'm working with, where we'll spend time once a week, whether that is on the initial onboarding phase where we're going through the training and kind of answering any more detailed questions, or getting into the guys that have already been in business for a few months and they're just trying to get some more advanced training on things. And then I remain available also for any questions. So
one thing that I love is I love seeing when you're the other turf coach are on the phone with somebody and just seeing about things that y'all are problem solving on the fly with as a franchise owner. I think, we can get people up to speed with turf kind of about 80 to 85% of the way pretty quickly, but that last 10 to 15% can take you like a decade because it's just all these edge cases. And so I'd love to hear if you've got any thoughts, like what's a moment in your mind that you've been working with a franchise owner where you've been able to problem solve with them, where just something weird came up on the job site and you guys were able to figure it out on the fly.
Just last night on a Sunday, one of our newer franchisee owners was working on a quote, and he had some real questions about drainage and that problem that he had on the job. And so I was there for him. We hopped on the phone. We spent about 45 minutes just kind of discussing what the issues were and what they weren't, where he might be worrying a little bit too much, and how we can resolve it when he comes across something similar in the future.
Yeah, just a day in the life, easy as a turf pro.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, we're out here at Rotolo's Craft and Crust. Excellent establishment in the Houston area. And so we just gave them a little bit of a turf estimate. How'd it go?
Very good. Coming here to try to bring in a more inviting space for their clients so that they can enjoy with their kids in the back patio, really, in bringing that get your Saturdays back vibe to their location.
Yeah, and so one of the big things that they want to do out here is they want to create a cornhole space. And so obviously we're under a covered patio. We've got some fans around. The idea being is that if we make a space where families and kids can come, that more people will actually want to come, spend more time here, obviously buy more food, more drinks, and enjoy it. We're here with turf coach Jeromie, artificial turf extraordinaire. So Jeromie, just as you look at this, what are any special considerations on this project you think we should keep in mind?
So a cool thing about here is that you can install artificial grass right over this concrete. It's in a covered area, so there are some changes that we're going to make to get it installed properly, but not that much, so pretty easy to get it done.
Here with Ashley, Turf Pro, Waterloo Turf Houston. So Ashley just joined the team in here as Rick has been ramping up the location. Now that we're 90 days in, we're actually adding other people into the mix. So Ashley, can you talk a little bit about what's your background like and what got you involved with Waterloo Turf Houston?
Sure. So I have a background in landscape design. So one of the things that drew me to turf was actually being able to design a place that's gonna last. So Waterloo specifically, actually, I really appreciated the mentality of wanting to be the best and wanting to bring like very good quality service to people. A lot of times in the industry, we don't focus as much on the individual relationship. So this is a great start for me in my career.
Yeah, so Rick was telling me, he said, hey, we just hired somebody with a landscape design background. I was personally super excited because, a lot of us either come from more the sales and marketing side or home services or just project management in general. What do you feel like you're bringing to the local team here, just with your background?
I definitely think I'll be able to help make that connection and help people visualize the customer, what we want to bring and what their dream is for the space. So that kind of element will really, I think, communicate well to them and be able to sell the idea better.
Yep, totally agree. So for y'all that didn't know, Ashley is a huge Horns fan, by the way. And so go UT.
Gig 'em, gig 'em.
All right, so 90 days in so far. Where do you feel like you're at right now versus your expectation of where you thought you'd be by this time?
I'm further along than I thought. Honestly, residential ads are coming in, that's maturing. A lot of the SEO is trying to build up, but I've gotten a lot more hits on the commercial side of it. And so it's allowing me to dig into that area, and it seems to be moving along faster, a lot more leads in that direction.
Where do you want to go the next 90 days and then really for the rest of this year?
So yes, with residential, we have the seasonality. I really do want to focus in on building that commercial because it can flatline you know, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flow of the seasonality, you know, onboarding new sales staff so that it can break my time in project management and force a hire in project management so that I can have my core team, project manager, 3 salespeople going out, doing a lot, build that out, and then I can focus more on that commercial development.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like one of the things we tell a lot of people is, you know, when you're coming in, you know nothing about turf.
Right.
And so you're learning a bunch about turf at the beginning, but now you're at the point where you kind of know most things about turf at this point and a lot about construction. And then you're at the point where it's, all right, we're bringing in people. How do we recruit, train people up extremely quickly, get them producing really quickly so that you can leverage more of your time to building the business versus, all right, I'm driving to estimates every single day. You can strategically place people around Houston, especially because you've got a huge territory.
Absolutely. You know, in the hiring of the people part is, okay, looking at what helps us set apart in our industry. That visualization on the site, being able, you know, showing the customer, sometimes these customers have grandeur plans and they need to be able to visually see it. And I want to be able to provide that because not only for the customer do we need to visualize it for them, but we need to be able to visualize it for us so that we can reverse engineer that, estimate that, and then project manage it.
Yep.
And it's not difficult. It's just learn it once, go through it once, and then boom, we've got it, and we can repeat and repeat and repeat.
All right, Rick, again, thanks for having us out here.
Absolutely.
Fun. Super excited for you. When we started Waterloo Turf, we knew what was possible, and it's just, honestly, it's just exciting to see somebody coming out here and actually not only just executing the playbook, but also pushing it to new levels. Like,
Right.
We're figuring out more stuff that we can add and more ways that we can support because of everything that you're doing. So excited for you and the business that you're building out here.
Appreciate it. I enjoy when you guys come down. It gives me an opportunity to let things out of my head that have been going on, digest it, and then I'm looking forward to the next time. I've got some big jobs, if a real big one, hopefully I win it, and then I'll have you guys come down specifically for that.
Let's do it.
It'll be a great deal.
Let's do it.
All right.
Excited for you, brother.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.